I'm pleased to show you my latest More or Less quilt. This series is a lot of fun for me, and not only because I'm teasing you. I use a new line of thread called FabuLux from WonderFil threads. Now when I say new, what I really mean is it's not available yet. I'm getting to play with it because I picked the colors for the line, and I want to show you what will be available later in 2016. So my series of More or Less quilts started with olive trees, and I did simple quilting and made one change between my olive trees quilt and my In the Pinks quilt. And the change was focused on the quilting around the pink line. After the In the Pinks quilt, I did Majestic Sunrise. And the biggest change between those two quilts was I turned the quilt 90 degrees, and it is now white on the bottom and black on the top instead of being left and right. The next quilt I did was First Love, and you can't see it because there's no contrast between the thread and the black fabric. The biggest difference between this and the Majestic Sunrise quilt was in the diamonds. They're dissolving. I'm not going to show you on this quilt because you can't see it. So here is this week's More or Less quilt, and it uses a thread named Fruit Salad. It is pink, purple, and orange, and I love the variegation on it. This quilt was really tool heavy, so I'll show you how I did it. Let's start with the feather. I quilted this on my Handy Quilter Sweet 16, which is a sit-down long arm machine that is meant to use long arm quilting templates. So I have this template here, and I quilted the spine for my feathers. I then did swirly feathers on the top, echoed them using my 1/4 inch foot, and used pebbles behind them. But instead of doing the exact same thing on the bottom side of the spine, I used another tool. This is a Handy Quilter micro circle tool. So I did a series of 1/2 inch circles all the way along the spine. And then I brought in one of my favorite tools, the right angle ruler, to do a series of parallel lines underneath it. I really like the difference that that has made in my series of quilts. Again, I have a 1/4 inch line, giving me some space between the quilting in the white and the quilting in the pink. The pink has ribbon candy because, let's face it, it's the best quilting pattern out there, or at least that's my opinion. I have a 1/4 inch line stitched into the black, so it really frames this. And here you can see what I did with the dissolving diamonds. Using another straight ruler, the Handy Quilter Mini Scallop, I stitched some diamonds in vertical rows. But instead of deciding how many diamonds went in each row, I simply rolled a die and stitched that many in each row. So it's completely random. After I stitched the diamonds, I filled them in with stars. I have the stars going up after the diamonds dissolved. I have ribbon candy filling in between the stars. And another big change for this week is how I outlined the diamonds on the uneven bits. So I outlined it a 1/4 inch away, and then I just took a ruler and guessed where an 1/8 of an inch mark was in the middle. So I have a triple line outlining this. I'm really pleased with this, and if I could make one change and unquilt this quilt and start it all over again, it would have been to put the backing on right side up. So stay tuned for the next quilt in my next newsletter, and I hope you enjoyed my More or Less quilts.